Oh, fastest live stream west of Mississippi. Artist in MC. I got a little Geek Speak. I haven't been doing that many streams on the road lately, but I got a couple minutes. I had a couple of thoughts, and I figured I'd share them with you so I can get it out of my head and into yours, and I can focus on stuff that I want to. The first one being, I finished up the Mr. and Mrs. Smith series last night, and that was a really good series. I'm still thinking about it and the intricacies of that series. And I would say I feel compelled to tell more people to watch it because I hadn't heard anybody talk about it really, except for the brothers on Double Toasted. But other than that, I have heard nobody talk about it. The show is really good. The show is actually very good. It's not all about action. And I think that's what throws people from it. There is action in it, but it's about a relationship in a sense, which is weird. It's a very clever juxtaposition that they did with that. And I'm wondering if the fact that everybody relates Mr. and Mrs. Smith to Brad and Angelina, and then they see these two people, Donald Glover and Maya Erskine, acting in it and get put off because it's not two white folks. I wonder if that's what it is. Yeah, it's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of subtext. But all of that shit comes into play because it's not about the action. The action is there, but it's about the relationship between those two people, which I actually really like. Shout out to Deep Remedy, Premium PTC, Premium Toy Collects, 01, Studio was good, Studio. That's the clever part about it. Like, if you've watched it, Premium Toy, if you've watched it, you get about halfway through the season when another group of people show up. That whole interaction is tense. To me, it's tense. The whole interaction is tense because I'm like, hell no. Hell no, hell no, hell no. This is not cool. This is not cool. Something is, yeah, right? That's my thinking the whole time. But it doesn't play like that. So I'm invested in watching what the hell is going on with these people and watching every nuance of what they're doing. But it's tense to me, the audience member, the whole time. People in the scene is having a good time. Me as an audience member, it's tense as fuck. Right? So I was enjoying it. I can't tell enough people to watch the show. And I think it's funny because it's an interracial couple, not in the wrong way, it makes it work a little better with me trying to pitch it to other people. Because I've noticed the people that I try to pitch it to, Asian women who date black men, obviously. But in this situation, these people are put together. They didn't find each other. They were put together. Don't know each other. So it's actually a clever reverse on the Brad and Angelina situation of the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where Brad and Angelina were married, but didn't know each other were spies. And this one, in the TV show with Donald Glover, they know they're spies, pretending to be married. And what happens with that switch, pretending to be a couple. That was an interesting switch. And seeing how that stuff develops in a relationship. And it's good. It takes you through those highs and lows of dealing with people, being in relationships. It's like, yeah, that was actually very interesting, very clever. The other thing that I'll tell you that is key to me because I was watching some of the bonus features is the co-creator Florence Leah, whatever her name is, that the story was written during a pandemic. And I see that come through because it's a lot of scenes where the people are together. So it makes sense. It gives you that feeling like, what do you do in this situation where you can't really get away from the person? It's not an option. How do you work that shit out? Like, if you're going to work, you couldn't leave work. It's good, Arya. But she had one bullet left in the chamber. But don't spoil the shit if you saw it already, Premium. I don't do that over here. I don't spoil shit for people that I want to go watch something. Arya says she's currently watching episode 1 of the show. All right, Arya, get back to me when you get up to 3 and 4. Tell me what you think. Because episode 4 was the one I thought was really tough. But 2 and 3, I was really enjoying it. I didn't think about it at the time when I was watching the show till I finished it. And then I looked at the clock to see what time it was, and it was damn near 1 o'clock. I'm like, 1 o'clock? I said, all right, these shows look like an hour and some change. I was like, I was invested. I was not even paying attention to the time. I sit there and wash dishes and clean house. Hey, dinner, I'm just into the show and not even thinking this is an hour apiece, motherfucker. You got to go to bed. So I'm running late now. Yeah, don't spoil it, Premium. I don't like that shit. Don't spoil the show. Man, at any time, even in situations. Yeah, calling his mama, that's some shit that you can actually dive into if you wanted to psychoanalyze him and have him call his mother, because it does play as a good test case, if you would, for analyzing people's behaviors. It does. Psychologically, it does. So I thought, there's a point in there where that comes up, and it's very interesting how they have these conversations without having these conversations. It is. So I did tell Dr. T and BGS they should check it out. So it'd be interesting. I don't think it would warrant a really deep dive, but I will review it because I did enjoy it. And because I enjoyed it, I like doing reviews on things that I've enjoyed a lot better than doing reviews on things that I fucking hated. It fucking kills me. It really does. It kills me every time. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Like, it was a good show. You should probably check it out. I'm sure I'll talk about it come Sunday because I'm going to be pondering my thoughts on the review today. And then tonight, when I get home, I'm going to record a review for it. I wonder if it'd be worth going back and watching again. No, because it would be too long. Be too long for a watch. And I promised Andre I'd start watching Arcane. So I just finished the series I'm watching so I can start watching Arcane tonight. But the other thing was all this bullshit with X-Men 97. And my little thumbnail for my, quick reaction to the trailer is proven true. Woke or bust. It's like, what a fucking mess this is turning into, dude. If you watch any other geek reviewer on YouTube, you can see they going in on this show because more information has come out about how this show is going to run. And I'm just looking at them like, okay, Ann, you surprised? Morph is non-binary? Well, he's a shapeshifter. Guess he could be non-binary. I mean, Mystique is a shapeshifter. Is she a whole lesbian or bisexual? Not that big of a surprise. You can change your gender. Why wouldn't you? Why would you consider yourself just one or the other? I don't know. It always seemed like an interesting story idea to me, so that's not blowing my hair back in. What is going to blow people's hair back is that they're wondering about all the rest of the stuff they got planned for this show, coming up with these characters, what they hinting at, interesting relationship between Wolverine and Morph and Scott and Wolverine and stuff. I was like, they're going to do that House of X shit. They're going to make, Scott and Wolverine, in gay love with each other. Part of that trinity, Wolverine, Scott, and Jean, they just going to do that shit that was in House of X, and all three of them going to be falling down on each other. Or, since Jean is pregnant for most of the shit, maybe Scott and Wolverine get it in. He's snicking it to him. Like, y'all just don't know. Y'all must ain't been reading them comic books that you can't see the pitch coming. Dude, this is about to be terrible. This is about to be terrible. Now, the other thing I talked about it Sunday with the de-emphasizing of Rogue's body and stuff like that. Look, Rogue was hippie and bubbly up top. Rogue in the original show was sexy. She was sexy. So was Jean to an extent. So was Storm. Okay, this ain't the 90s. They're not doing that no more. So yeah, they de-emphasized it. That's why I asked the question on Sunday. Why do feminists hate women's bodies so much? I don't get it. But then when I said that, I thought about it a little bit. They hate it because they don't see themselves as that. If that's the standard, they can't meet it. And then you look at some of these people, they don't look anything like that. What they say, a busted can of Pillsbury dough? The more fervent ones. Yeah, that's why they don't like that shit. Look, if you think about the comic, I'm Not Starfire, and the woman who wrote it, does she look like a rogue type? What was the whole point of the book? The whole point of the book is Starfire and Nightwing's daughter, who's short, frumpy, and half blind, having a mother that's hot and voluptuous, and how she doesn't fit in, but it's okay to be her. Nobody really wasn't okay to be you, you goofy motherfucker. That's your issue with actually wanting to be Starfire, but not wanting to put in the work to be Starfire. You idolizing this shit that is a fictional character, thinking that's what needs to be your body type. When you missed the message was you might want to be emblematically as she is, where she is kind of fearless and not self-conscious about her body like that. That's what you should have got from that, instead of thinking it was the archetype that you need to try, the cookie cutter that you're supposed to try to squeeze yourself into. That's not what that shit is. It's not there for you like that. But seeing that kind of thinking is why it's so many plastic-faced looking women out here doing all this surgery and BBLs and all the rest of this shit that look like life-size plastic dolls. Like, that's not attractive. That's a flaw in y'all thing. I don't know, of a man telling a woman you need to be this damn plastic, and y'all listening to a man saying, yes, I need to do that. You need to forget that shit. Stop trying to push that goofy ass narrative. They don't like that shit. We ain't the ones telling you to do it. If you ask us, we'll tell you not to. Well. So just sit tight for the rest of these revelations that's gonna come out of this X-Men 97. And because they've already hinted that this kind of shit will be in there. Oh yeah, I guess I'm doing episodic reviews of this because it's gonna be something to talk about for sure. So I'm gonna have to do watches of this, and hopefully it's not fucking 12 to 24 episodes. Maybe they cut it down to 10 or 12, make it useful. But it's gonna be content coming out of this, so I guess I need to start getting my rest in now for watching and editing videos on this. Hopefully, I won't be completely pissed off about it because gender neutral, non-binary, bisexual, all that shit lives in the world that I do, so it's not that big of a fucking surprise to me. And since I know they made that whole push in the comic books in the last couple of years that being X in your name for the men just meant that you was into some kind of sexual perversions or some kind of different lifestyle. It had shit to do with acceptance in society. I guess that's just what it's going to be now. Disney got it. They can do whatever they want with it. They can ruin it the same way Fox ruined the X-Men. They can ruin it their way. It's their child. They gonna ruin the shit the way they want it. I don't have to like it. I don't have to watch it. Well, I kind of do have to watch it because of you guys, but I don't have to like the shit. They're not making that shit for me. It's definitely not for me. Thankfully, I still got the X-Men from the '90s that I remember because they ain't went back and revisionist history that yet. But this new shit, yeah, it'll be something else. Wrapped in the old packaging, filled with the new bullshit. So take a bite. Take a bite. They about to get you. They about to get you one time. The other thing was, then I'm gonna end it off with this. Um, fuck. Gina Carano lawsuit. I already told you guys I'm for it. Yeah, sue them people, especially if you can get them. Sue them. I don't give a shit. Whatever legal means you can take to get them the hell out of there, from Lucasfilms or Disney board, because Iger ain't much better. This motherfucker a full blown nutcase. He got too much of the feminine side, so obviously he the bottom. Um, do what y'all do, but you don't have to keep telling me about it. Just fucking do it, because it needs to be done. If you can get him out of there, get him out. If you can't, stop talking about it, because I personally don't want my hopes up anymore. She should have been gone over a year ago, and she's still there. So I'm not really getting all in my feels about how quickly it's going to happen. I'm just like, okay, yeah, that'd be cool if it happens. If it doesn't, then what the hell am I waiting on? I just, deal with what I fucking deal with. But apparently her contract, I think her contract comes up this year again or next year, 2025. Bob Iger there, she ain't going nowhere. Told y'all when he came back. This is a boy. This the motherfucker who put her there. She ain't going nowhere. It looked like he might have been. That was just the ploy for the the people that don't know better. She ain't going nowhere. One sec. She ain't going nowhere. And he ain't about to fire her. He came in there acting like that. Oh, if Indiana Jones flops, you're on your ass, cat. Bullshit. That movie and the one behind it both flopped. Nobody moved. Nobody moved. They ain't went nowhere. And they still pushing the same dumb shit. Bigger, louder, and more intense. So they do what they do with that. I'm not expecting it to. I'm not getting my hopes up. Put it that way. I believe they might have a case if it's a wrongful termination case or some shit like that. Will it end up with KK or Bob Iger losing their seats? I don't think so. And I'm not sure how um, Nelson specifically being on the board is going to help change anything. Because for all the praise they tried to throw on Ike, Ike was the one who was doing all that other shit. That's why every minority had to be a sidekick. So I seen him as the savior, Jesus, or none of that shit. I'm not. You know, I broke this shit up from Netflix anyway. So well, whatever. You ain't got nobody else. Oh fuck, dude. Guess we gonna get what the hell we get regardless. But don't think I'm looking at him as a savior. He might be a useful tool to get rid of two obvious problems. But he is a problem in and of itself. It's like the lesser of two evils, which in my book is always still two fucking evils, nigga. I'm not trying to choose between two evils. I'm trying to choose between evil and not two lesser forms of it. That's not a choice to me. Sucker choices. But that's it. I'm gonna pull in here, try to get my day started. Thank you guys for coming through. I will see you guys in these YouTube streets, I'm sure. But in the meantime, have a good day. Thanks.